Hello and welcome to another Travel Risk Management, Health, Safety and Security Advisory Tip. My name's Tony Ridley, Editor-in-Chief at TravelRiskManagementSolutions.com. Travel Managers. Travel Managers is a two-tiered function or two-tiered definition. One is it's a job description, those that manage travel, those that are responsible for the various elements, and travel managers is a management function or responsibility. So what that means is that maybe one or more individuals apportioned to the management of travel, the booking, the identification of vendors, procurements, invoicing, all those sorts of things. However, there may be many more that are responsible for the management of travel. And in particular, that collective group needs to be comprised of risk managers, safety, security, procurements, finance, administration, executive leadership, administration, all those sorts of things need to be included. So what this means is that just because someone's a travel manager does not mean that they then become by default the travel risk manager. Vice versa, if you're a risk manager, you may have little to no oversight or insight into the management of travel. You may be focused on more academic aspects and financial solvency, liquidity, and all those sorts of things, volatility, all those sorts of things. However, the management of travel and the travel managers is a collective group. It needs to be either a committee, it needs to be a system, it needs to be a mechanism where there is not any one person, because the disciplines do not lie in the expertise within organisations for just one person. And I would go as far as to say that very rarely, if at all, do they appear within one department. Travel managers, as a legacy evolution, have been focused around and have experience around GDS, procurements, flights, hotels, group bookings, all these sorts of things is either their purview or their experience. And most of them either evolve from a purchasing background, a tourism travel related, or even executive assistants that are now responsible for the management of travel for organisations. However, very few, if any, have any risk management, health, safety credentials, academic backgrounds, or grounding in order to make the determinations associated with travel risk decisions or even change management. So it needs to be a collective group. Now, travel managers increasingly are either being the scapegoats or the leaders in this innovation. So the scapegoats are the poor ones that are simply left as, well, this went wrong, or those are your issues, and they're overwhelmed and they're under-resourced and it simply just does not happen. Or they are seeking counsel and they are rallying around and they are getting together collective resources and addressing. They may not have the answers, but they certainly are part of the committee or even some of the ones that are asking these questions. And my own personal experience, having addressed and been to, addressed hundreds of travel managers, been to dozens of travel management events, is that it is becoming a greater curiosity. It is becoming a greater interest. Unfortunately, it's not becoming a more formulaic and structured discipline that is becoming part of the day-to-day capabilities and capacities of travel managers, particularly if you look at the turnover or the executive reporting chains. All these sorts of things are compounding and causing problems associated with the overall risk management. So again, organisations, risk managers, anybody in the cycle, whether you're part of a team or an individual, need to look at your travel managers, whether it be a job title or function or whether it be a collective management responsibility. Travel management collectively is where the influence and decision making begins, whether it's through the identification and purchase of particular services, but certainly the ongoing success and failure of any individual or collective group of travellers will hinge around these travel managers. So it's important. It may seem like it's stating the obvious, but even now in 2013, with the evolution of all things technology and the understanding of risk, it's still very, very underdeveloped or in its infancy for many organisations, or it's simply fallen into disrepair. And we will see another rise of problems, issues, events, avoidable, preventable incidents, and unfortunately fatalities. So once again, thanks very much for joining us for another Travel Risk Management, Health, Safety and Security Advisory Tip. For more information and videos on this subject, please visit the website at www.travelriskmanagementsolutions.com. Thank you and goodbye.